Well, you see, the tradition of theater masks actually originates in ancient Greek theater. The first plays evolved from rituals that involved masks, so it was natural for actors to wear masks that represented these heightened emotions that their characters were feeling. And while I don't think that Sun and Moon,
Ash Ketchum, Bart Simpson, Gohan, and Popeye would all be girls.
when you get an Oscar-winning actress to start giving titty twisters to statues in order to hawk your mobile game, you know you've got cash to spare.
To put Stalin's actions in perspective, compare him to Hitler, whose Holocaust killed 12 million people. Any way you slice it, not nice guys. And that, dear theorists, is everything you need to know to understand this episode and pass the Russian unit in world history. So how could Mario—
Heck, forget seeing every single room. He is humping every single chair. That's right, my friends. Waluigi is canonically forklift certified. This thing right here is a threat scarier than anything Nintendo has ever cooked up. Who is Sans? Well, what if we took it one final step and said that Sans happened to be Ness? But you may be asking me right now, how do you get an X-ray of a fictional character? Easy! The original Smash Brothers. Yo, girl, it was poggers when you told me that you loved me, but then you went and pied off and now I'm all Pepe hands. Hurts to be jebaited like that. I'm Omega lol. The larger an animal species is, the more likely it is to favor quality of offspring over quantity of offspring. Smaller animals like insects, rabbits, and birds can afford to have a lot of babies at once, while larger species like whales, elephants, and rhinos are much slower to reproduce. The Ender Dragon—
I never thought that a gorilla's sexual maturity would be what ties together the entire Mario timeline.
I was Sonic and Max was Tails. We would get together every weekend to make it a little further in the game. I would inevitably rage quit and his brother would be forced to sing Christina Aguilera's Genie in a Bottle. Yo wow blizz hojo quovlo kroll bluckle. It's not German, not Swedish, it's Crow. According to Nintendo of Japan and Super Smash Bros., Kirby's official canon size, 8 inches. Mic drop. Doing this for as long as I have, I know that there's more than one way to skin a Mario. Looks like the adoption was a 2-for-1 deal. You get the cute little girl, and her demonic blob friend comes along for free. What a steal! The average home in the US cost $211,000, and in 2020, their average rose to $383,000. As an 82% inflation increase, which is just wild to think about. In only 20 years, property prices have gone up by an average of $172,000. No wonder no one can afford to buy houses anymore. Sad realities aside, this does give us a baseline to work with. The original Animal Crossing. So the next time someone tells you to go outside and have some fun, all you really gotta do is create an alternate reality in your own backyard. This would be like having your arms sprout out of your forehead so you could reach the last Diet Coke on the top shelf, and then being able to slide all the way down to your legs to reach the double stuffed Oreos you tucked away in the bottom of the pantry.
There is one easy way to tell though, and that's by touching them.
Apparently, when it comes to FPS games, the biggest predictor of good performance isn't IQ, it's actually age. People who did best were younger players whose more nimble fingers and quicker reflexes put them at an advantage. So how does Among Us—
What are you doing?
Talking about FNAF, like I always do. It's been almost 2 weeks. I feel like I'm going through withdrawals.
Well, I am the Theory Lord.
He actually followed me home alone on the bus and sat next to me and walked me home.
Though to be fair, to my credit, I think I'm like the only 37-year-old out there who has an unironic appreciation of Skibbity Toilet. I've gotten through the Sonic is Slow controversy. I've had literal petitions written to remove me from the internet for slandering Mario's name by calling him a sociopath, but this one hurt. But it was nothing compared to the next time I talked about Undertale on the channel, when I was selected for the honor of meeting Pope Francis. The first version of this castle was lost when a dog accidentally pressed a reset button. But this version of the castle is simply gonna collapse under its own weight because Toadette sucks at blueprints. Cause you know that when I see a large four-hooved mammal, I'm thinking, that thing has got some mat up. For reasons that might be obvious, Nintendo and Sega have both been reluctant over the years to have their family-friendly mascot characters wield guns. Wow, so that was a script full of numbers. And speaking of numbers, you know what numbers I'm most excited by? Money. So it turns out that when people aren't breathing in neurotoxins, they happen to score better on tests designed to measure brain function. The biggest problem in the Sonic universe isn't Robotnik. Clearly, it is rampant price inflation among us. Hi, I'm Matpat. It's great to meet you again. Also, I'm Dream's father.